Good morning, Quadcopter 101 here. Today's assembly line reviews will include a review of the new U804 Dramina Ominous clone, obviously you can see it there, with magnetic compass and also 150 meter range. We'll also be doing a review of the F802D Wi-Fi FPV. It's also a Dramina Ominous clone. And also I'll be finishing with a check flight of my Tarantula X6 with its new motor that I just changed with a V262 motor. What we got here is the U804. Again, it's a Dramina Ominous clone, but what makes it special is it has a magnetic compass in it for headless mode. You can use magnetic compass, selecting a bearing off in the distance and using that as your reference heading, or it defaults when you turn it on to using magnetic north as the reference heading. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with what headless mode is, headless mode, when you activate it, if you lose orientation on the quadcopter, you could use just the pitch and roll commands to bring it back to you. What it does is the yaw, the direction the quadcopter is pointed in does not affect the movement of the quadcopter. All movement is controlled only by the pitch roll stick. So if you set a reference heading off in the direction of that, excuse me, there's a bug there, off in the direction of that pylon over there, all the control will be referenced to that pylon. So forward of this quadcopter, when you push forward on the pitch roll stick, the quadcopter will always go forward in the direction of that pylon. If you pull back, it would always come back from the direction of that pylon. If the quadcopter is to the right of that pylon, all you got to do to bring it back to you is push to the left to bring it back in the direction of that pylon. And I'm going to be demonstrating that. This will be the first flight of the U804, so I'm going to be kind of easy with it. Mainly what I wanted to do today is evaluate its range. It is advertised with 150 meter range. I want to see if that's true. We're going to send it off to the end of the field here. We got a little breeze here to push it back to us in case we do lose control. So without further ado, let's go into a flight of the U804 quadcopter. Okay, the quadcopter's battery has been inserted. I'm going to bind it to the quadcopter. Now, I'm pointing the quadcopter in the direction of that mountain in the distance there. I'm going to use that as the reference heading. But you got to keep in mind, when you bind this thing, let's bind it as normal. You turn it on, wait till that beep goes, and it automatically is bound. You don't have to do the up-down. But now, you do need to set the base heading before you take off. Otherwise, it uses default magnetic north, which is off in that direction, as the base heading. So we want to set this as the base heading, and to do that you move both control sticks to the lower left corner. The lights are going to flash rapidly on the quadcopter, and then they go steady again. I'm looking at the back of the quadcopter and they're steady. So now supposedly that is our reference heading. To activate headless mode, we push down on this stick right here, the pitch roll stick. We can reset, supposedly, according to the directions that I've deciphered, if we wanted to use that as a default heading instead of magnetic north over there. All we got to do is move both control sticks inward, down and inward, and hold them there. But right now I'm using that as the reference heading. Again, to set that, all I did was move both sticks down to the lower left corner. It's similar to doing a gyro calibration, but it's not. You're calibrating the magnetic heading on the quadcopter. So let's go for a flight. We're going to start off in low. I'm going to trim it up a bit. We got a little bit of a wind here. Let's bring it in toward me here, fighting the wind. This is, again, U804. Nice looking quadcopter, red, white, and blue. Nice colors, huh? Okay, let's go for a flight. First thing we're going to do is, I'm keeping it in low, and we're going to go upwind and see if we can reach those bushes off in the distance. Again, this thing's advertised with 150 meter range. Okay, I'm at about 100 right now. I know it's hard for you to all see with this Mobius camera, but yeah, I'm getting there. Okay, I'm going into hover because I'm getting kind of scared. I'm at the end of the field now. But sure enough, this thing has significant range. And bringing it back. Okay, this is the first flight of this quadcopter, so I'm going to be gentle here in the beginning. Yeah, it's got a nice wind it's fighting. Going to intermediate by pressing the upper left button. And you hear 2 beeps, that tells you you're at intermediate. Okay, now let's bring it close so you can see this. Nice smooth fire. Okay. Now to activate headless mode, you got to push in on this button or the pitch roll stick. Let's do that and just run headless mode for a second. Okay, again, all direction forward is toward the mountain. Pulling back is away from the mountain. Going to the right of the mountain. Pushing to the left. And now I'm doing pirouettes to show that. Pushing toward the mountain. There's a wind up there and it's affected my pirouettes. Pulling back. Notice how wobbly it is. Doing pirouettes in the wind. I'm going to stop doing the pirouettes. Okay, bringing it back to me. So, the headless mode kind of works. It works. Okay, I'm out of headless mode. Now I'm going to high. Let's see what this can do at high. Wow. Do pirouettes nicely. Or not pirouettes, funnels. Real pretty doing the funnels too. Wow. Now this quadcopter runs about $48 without the camera. If you want the camera version, that adds a price to it. I like to use my own cameras. Thank you. Namely the 808 number 16. I'm going to have to try that with this quadcopter. After doing all this, I'm going to, these funnels, let's send it out again. Let's send it toward the mountain again, and let's check out that headless mode again. Headless mode's activated. Pulling back. Look at that. I don't know what, see that wobble? Coming out of headless mode. The wind, when in headless mode, the wind does funky things with the quadcopter. There's a breeze, about 5 miles per hour crosswind from that direction. Activating headless mode again. Coming out. Okay, going into headless mode again. Pushing toward the mountain. It thinks the mountain's over there. It's doing a weird wobble. So I don't know about the headless mode being too reliable. I wouldn't use that as a selling point of this quadcopter. It does have good range. Let's go back way out there again. I'm not going to use the headless mode for the remainder of this flight. It's doing something funky. But yeah, way out there. Coming back. Yeah, I wouldn't rely on that headless mode. It doesn't seem to like the when I'm doing these funnels, has done something funky to the headless mode. It makes the quadcopter do the same thing. It wobbles like it's doing a funnel. Let me do that, demonstrate that again. Let's bring it in closer, and then activate headless mode. There, see that? I ain't doing that. I'm pushing toward the mouth and it's doing wobbles like it's trying to do funnels. Maybe I shouldn't have done these funnels because that screwed up the sensor on it temporarily. Well, I'll do more investigations of headless mode in future flights. But right now, this is a nice maneuverable quadcopter. That was the main purpose of the flight. I wanted to do a quick check of the 150 meter range. It seems to do it well. And I wanted to do a quick check of its maneuverability, and it seems to be very maneuverable quadcopter. Flips, we haven't tried flips yet. Oh yeah, you press the flip button. Let's come down here low. Flip, flip, flip. I'm holding it down. Okay, I better come over and check my batteries. I've been flying it for a while. Let's see these lights on this thing. Are they blinking? This wind is screwing me up here, folks. Hold on. Let's bring in upwind. The lights appear to be fine. Well, it can fight the wind. It's a nice little quad. There goes the battery. Okay, that's the flight time you get with the U804. We demonstrated its 150 meter range. That is true. It works well. We tried the headless mode. It didn't like me. It worked initially, but it didn't like those funnels that I was doing. So we're going to look at that a little closer in future videos. The effect of not doing funnels and seeing if it maintains the headless mode lock on the reference direction. So again, this was the U804. First look at this quadcopter. I don't think anybody's reviewed this yet. I think I'm the first. So hope you enjoyed this flight. Quadcopter 101 signing out.